So this will be available. So welcome to Magic of the Muse. And it is a powerful new moon in Scorpio. And the sun is in Scorpio too. So that can bring a lot of intensity. So if you're feeling intense emotions right now, in whatever way, please just write yes in the sidebar. Let's just feel each other here. If you're feeling intensity, oh, we've got a yes. Yes. We are one with the moon and her rhythms, and Scorpio really brings us into this watery, intense place of really bringing the shadow as well to the light, and the deep, dark mysteries, which is what I'm here to share with you today. It's like on this tantric path, it's about embracing the light and the dark. So if Tantra is new for you, you probably already know what Tantra is. It's already a knowing. It's a state of being in your natural essence, in your true nature, where when we are connected to our true nature, to our essence, that is Tantra. When we get out of our own way and when we connect to who we truly are, and that is embracing everything, the light and the dark and all that comes with it. And so I'm here today to share some of my stories as a way to really be a mirror and a reflection and hopefully an inspiration for you to look at your own life and your own initiations, and to really come into a place of trusting that whatever is arising right now, or whatever has arisen in the past that may still be somewhere holding in your body, in your womb, in your being, that there are ways to meet yourself and all that you're holding in order to move forward and create a life that you truly desire, which I call living your yes. So we gather here, each one of us holding our own personal intention, each one of us going through our own personal experience. And so just taking a moment right now as we begin to really just reflect, what is present for you right now? What is alive in your body, in your life, in your relationships? And when I say relationships, we start with the primary relationship, which is with ourselves and with the Creator, with divine creative spirit that moves through this temple body. So taking a moment to reflect on where you are without judgment, because we've all gone through different times of nurturing our own relationship with ourselves. As women, carrying all the lineages from before within our womb and in our bodies, we have a lot of undoing to do. We have a lot of rewriting the story of how we can show up and really love ourselves and give to ourselves and fill ourselves up so that we can offer to others, to our family, to our children, to our loves, to our students, from a place of fullness. So just with eyes closed, reflecting right now, just allowing yourself to go within and to connect with your breath. And just come into a space of your own personal intention around this new moon. What is it that you're truly desiring? And breathe into that. And maybe you feel yourself kind of scattered and all over the place and things are kind of not really clear, and that's okay too. Wherever you are, meet yourself in this moment. And I'm going to guide us in a little meditation before we begin and go deeper. So I see some of you are lying down or sitting. Just get really comfortable. How can you make yourself really comfortable right now? Give yourself permission to get really comfortable and yummy and love yourself in this moment. So if that's lying down, snuggling, turning off any other distractions so you can really be present here now. And close your eyes. Turn your awareness inside. And just notice what is present in your body. What are you feeling? What sensations are here? And bring your awareness into your pelvic floor. And imagine and see your beautiful red glowing lotus flower in your pelvic floor. And I like to call this the lotus flower yoni portal. So the yoni is a Sanskrit word for vagina. And this is really our portal to our entire temple body. And so feel this. And I invite you to take one hand on your yoni and one hand on your heart or on your womb, or wherever feels yummy for you. Wherever is calling out for you to place your hand. And begin to breathe into your yoni. Now, maybe this is a new concept, maybe not, but just see if you can sip up the air from your yoni. And now, see the lotus roots. And begin to follow the lotus roots down through the cushions, through the hammock, through the chair, into the earth. And invite your lotus roots to move down through the different layers of the earth, connecting in with Mama Gaia. With each exhale, invite your roots to go deeper and feel yourself enveloped and held by her dark, deep, wet, fertile ground. Going deeper and deeper through the different layers of the earth. Settling down, inviting any sensations in your body to settle, to root into the earth. And then you come to this beautiful, huge rose quartz crystal in the center of the earth and feel this incredible unconditional love emanating from the rose quartz crystal. And go and wrap your roots around this crystal. Wrap your roots around her and feel the love of the mother held in this rose quartz crystal, held in the earth, surrounding you, enveloping you. Feel so safe here. And breathe her love in with your inhale. And as you exhale, offering up any fear, any self-doubt, any judgment, anything that you're ready to be done with right now, just offer it to her to be transmuted. As you inhale, breathing in this love. And as you exhale, releasing and emptying out any fear. Feeling safe here, feeling held. Offering up to Mama Gaia to transmute anything that you are ready to release. This moon is bringing the darkness to the light, the shadow to the light. So honoring all of you, honoring the part of you that maybe at some point in your life playing small, maybe it did serve you. But look at yourself now, and are you ready to step into your brightness? Are you ready to really let go and be finished with the part of you that keeps you small and comfortable, per se? Exhaling, and invite any sound on the next 3 exhales as you offer it up. Release the jaw, even stick out the tongue. Breathe in, allow your whole body to breathe in this love. Inhale deeply, inhale this love, and exhale. Staying connected here. And feel all of us connected here, saying yes to this moment, saying yes to ourselves, saying yes to this path, saying yes to love. Feel this connection with everybody here with this rose quartz crystal. And stay connected. But begin to bring your awareness now back up the roots. Like an umbilical cord connecting your womb with the womb of the mother. Slowly bring your awareness back up the roots. Until you reach your lotus flower yoni portal. And from there, see this hollow bamboo core, your shushumna, this bamboo flute, and begin to pull the petals of your lotus flower up the hollow bamboo core, bringing that earth energy and the love from the earth all the way up, bringing it into your womb space, into your sacral chakra, right below your belly button. And invite any movement here with your breath, any subtle movement that feels good to you. As you follow the rhythm of your breath, and feel yourself here in your body. Bring the energy up into your womb and all the way up into your solar plexus, into your heart, into your throat, into your third eye, and into your crown. And take your opposite hand on your crown. So you have one hand on your yoni and one hand on your crown of your head. And imagine and feel now the 1,000-petal lotus in your crown chakra, opening up. And I invite you to say this mantra to align with the highest frequency of love. I align with the highest frequency of love. Nothing can touch me but love. And feel and know that you have the power to transform fear into love. Bring the earth energy up from you all the way through your body, filling up, and then invite this beautiful golden love energy down through your crown, into your heart, down into your womb. And feel that you have the right to be here in your body, holding your body crown to root, filling up with love, with presence, with gratitude. You have a choice in every moment in how you respond to life and all that it brings. So how can you choose love? Choosing love, filling up, fill up from the earth, filling up through your body. Breathing, filling, inviting any movement to move through your whole spine, from tailbone to crown. Inviting your jaw to relax. Moving between root and crown in your own unique way. You are a unique fingerprint of the goddess. Making any sound that feels good to you. Just exploring sound, breath, movement here. You are a sensual being here in this body, here to offer yourself from a place of fullness. So how can you fill yourself up in this moment, being full of yourself? And taking both hands into a triangle, placing over your womb, over your sacral chakra. I invite you to repeat this mantra. I trust in the wisdom of my womb. I trust in the wisdom of my womb. And even if you don't have a womb technically anymore, you do energetically. So feel this power center, this place of creation, and invite yourself to spiral from your womb and listen to your womb. And if you have a question right now in your life that you're wanting clarity on, that you don't understand, I invite you to take this moment and ask your womb, dialogue with your womb. She knows. I trust in the wisdom of my womb. I trust in the wisdom of my womb. I trust in the wisdom of my womb. Listening, asking her as your inner muse, inner wisdom, listening, slowing down and feel her watery depths. Feel your deep, divine, feminine mystery. Listening to your womb. I trust in the wisdom of my womb. And just notice if there's anything you see or hear or feel as you drop your awareness into your womb and feel how she is connected to the womb of the mother and to this beautiful rose quartz crystal. Feel yourself safe here. And I invite you to listen to feel into your dream seed with this new moon, of what you are saying yes to, what you desire to align with, align your thoughts, align your beliefs, align your actions with. And she has wisdom for you. So what are the words, what is the essence that she is offering to you in this moment? And in a moment, I'm going to have you share so we can feel each other's wombs, desires, and feel that we are all connected to the one cosmic womb of the mother, all reflections of one another. So when you feel ready, just sharing a word, a phrase, a feeling, an experience, anything, a message that came through for you in the chat so we can really feel each other here. Thank you, Marie. Full expression of the connected cosmic womb. Stay connected to the body, open to the pleasure around you. Keep your desires alive. So as we see these words, as we hear them, feel the resonance in your own body. Notice how your yoni feels. Like we literally get turned on when something is in resonance with our highest yes. Relax and enjoy yourself. Everything is unfolding perfectly. That feels like a card that you might pull. It's like this message. Yeah, we have these messages within us. Loving what is, being in the now moment without judgment. Movement is sacred. Nothing can touch me but love. Planting dream seeds for self-love, living essence, creating sacred boundaries. So feel all of these words, really breathe them in. Feel how each word holds a frequency. And if there's something that really stands out to you, say it out loud and feel the frequency of the word. I cultivate a deep, loving, nurturing, healing, and romantic relationship with myself and the earth. Yummy. Yes, please. Awakening. Gorgeous. So you can really feel how we can all connect through the frequency of these words, through these dream seeds. And this is just such a perfect reflection of the story that I have to share with you today, and how we are all so intricately, divinely woven together. We are living in this fabric, this tapestry of life, and we are all weaving together. And when you feel that frequency, when you feel that yes, like each one of you is here because you felt something inside was pulling you here. There's a magnetic force because there's a recognition of soul to soul. There's something within us that calls us forth when we see something that's a yes, that's a reflection of our own journey, of where we are, of medicine that we might need at this time. There is no mistake with anything that unfolds in your life, with whatever shows up in front of you. So whatever is unfolding and showing up in your outer life is a reflection of something within, even if it's not a nice reflection. You're like, I don't want to look at that. What would it be to actually just let yourself look at this and be like, okay, wow, what is this about? And really see seeing that everything that happens, that we are somehow co-creating it, somehow. And the biggest initiations and the biggest challenges are the ones for us to move through so that we can come to the other side and become more whole through the initiation. It is literally like birth. So each one of us had our own birth story. We came into this world, in this life, with our own initiation, with our mother. It was her initiation, and yet our soul needed to have our own initiation. So if you don't even know your birth story, I invite you to maybe find out, how did you come into this world? And maybe that's something that you've already looked into and worked with, but each one of us has our own story. And then throughout life, we are given these incredible initiations to move through. And so, I want to share today part of my story. And it's really interesting because as I've been preparing to be with all of you and share my story, layers would come to the surface again to remind me just how intense certain times of my journey were, because it's incredible how we can actually forget. And I feel that life is the path of remembrance. As human beings, we constantly forget. We forget why we're here. We forget the practices that bring us back to center. We forget what we love. We forget what we've been through and the lessons we've gone through until we need another smack in the face reminder, sometimes just a little lick. But you know what I'm saying. If you know what I'm saying, you can say yes in the sidebar. But you know, we're all here in this human experience. And so for me, I'm going to go back to really 15 years ago, when I moved to San Francisco and started to really develop my work. I started to put myself out there as sharing embodied grace, a playful and prayerful expression of the self through dance. And it takes so much. And again, if you know what I'm saying, you can always say yes in the sidebar or have a response here, but it takes so much to step out of our comfort zone and to start doing something that is new, to start teaching, to start sharing ourselves, to start putting ourselves out there in the world, to start really believing in ourselves enough to, share with people, like, yes, you would benefit from this. It's like, I met this incredible teacher the other day who was amazing, and yet she was like, oh, I'm terrible at talking about myself. And it's like, there are so many layers of really how to really love ourselves, to know our own gifts, and to feel the impulse and the pull and the invitation to say, yes, okay, it's time to start sharing. And then there's that connection piece where we have to then connect our voice with our power, with our knowing, in a humble way. So I started sharing, and then in 2004, I moved to Los Angeles. I had a powerful experience where I received that if I moved to LA, my work would just explode, like in this beautiful way. And I was like, okay, I have to do this. And all these things that kind of fell into place. And my friend offered me a house sitting gig in Santa Monica. And I immediately went there and I got a job at Sacred Movement in Venice Beach, and like everything like came together so beautifully, so fast. I did my first workshop. I had 20 people show up. Where did these people come from? And it was literally like magic. But it was like, I was believing it. I had this vision. I believed it. I stepped forward. Everything opened. And I was 29 or 28. And I remember I got invited to go and do body work. I was a massage therapist at this yoga and dance New Year's Eve amazing retreat in Ojai. And I went, and it was incredible. And I met all these potential clients and met all these incredible people. And I was just so in my element and felt like this is it. And at the same time, I was still in a relationship with a man in San Francisco that I knew wasn't my man. But I decided to stay there anyway with him. Has anyone had that experience? Where you are with somebody, you're in a relationship, you have this inner knowing like, okay, this probably isn't my man forever, but I'm just gonna stay here because the sex is really good and I'm getting this from it, or whatever it is. Well, you know what I'm saying. So at this retreat on New Year's Eve, I had a dragonfly. I'd found this dead dragonfly, which, if you know, is a reflection, a symbology of illusion. And I found it on my anniversary with my boyfriend at the time. And so I'm at this fire with the man that owns a retreat center, and everyone else is doing something else. And it was just me and him. And I consciously said, I'm going to throw this dragonfly into the fire, and I release all illusion. And I threw it into the fire. Well, the next day or 2 days later, this man that had been with me at the fire, he's like, I want to gift you a massage from my massage therapist. And I immediately, something inside me was like, no, don't accept it. But then my mind came in and my heart was like, I deserve this. I have been working so hard. I deserve this massage. So I said yes, even though I had this little inkling to say no. Well, as soon as I saw this man, again, my whole body closed up, and it was like, do not let him touch you. Like I had this voice inside. But again, it was like I overrode that. I was like, no, I'm here. That would be really rude to, that would not be a nice English girl thing to do. And I'm just going to go into this and it'll be fine. I deserve this. And I went in, and that experience changed my life forever, because something happened in there, and basically he decided to adjust my neck without asking me. And he pulled my head out of my body so hard. It was just like, whew. I was like, stop. And basically that moment unraveled into full chronic pain that I could not even work at the yoga studio swiping a credit card. I couldn't do massage. I couldn't dance. Like basically it completely incapacitated me. And here I am, I've just moved to LA. Everything's happening, I thought. And it was like the rug was just pulled out from underneath me. And it really just took me on this whole other journey. And as it was happening, as I was moving through this really, really intense time, and I'm not going to go so deep into that, but I've written stories about this. It's in the Path of the Priestess book as well, and just this journey and the intensity. But what it taught me, obviously, is about listening to your inner voice and this power of discernment and, really trusting. We have to trust ourselves. So often we put our power onto somebody else, and it's like we have the trust within us. We have the knowing within us, and I overrode that. And yet that journey, that experience has taken me on this wild journey, like initiations do, and on this journey of healing, and on this journey of really learning how to contain my sexual energy, because I was not really aware of how much I was carrying or how much I was allowing to kind of ooze out of me as well. It was like I needed the container. I needed the understanding of stillness, of the masculine principle, which is pure consciousness. So if anyone's ever experienced being in total pain, incapacitated, it's like we basically are forced into stillness. And in that place of stillness, we can connect inside. So we have a choice. You know, we can go into this fear and why me and the negativity. And I certainly went there. I certainly went into that dark space. And yet what happened is, I'm going to fast forward now. I've gone on a wild journey around the world. And then I met my husband 11 years ago. I ended up moving to Costa Rica and creating Danyasa Eco Retreat. And in that, I was, you know, I had been healing my body, really listening, going into deep listening and really trusting and finding new patterns and new ways of moving my body that would heal. I studied Anusara Yoga. I really learned how to move the energy through and align my body in a way that was healthy, with integrity. And so everything was happening again. I was on fire. I was traveling the world. I was performing all over the place. I was teaching. I was doing yoga teacher trainings, and I was teaching people how to teach yoga. And but there was still something inside that wasn't quite right. And even the first time that I ever taught my first yoga teacher training, it almost didn't happen with the man that I was doing it with. And it was him that I was allowed, or that I was able to teach this Yoga Alliance teacher training. So without him, I wouldn't be able to do that. So in that moment when we thought we weren't going to work together anymore, this voice came in again. You don't need him. You don't need to do it in the yoga teacher training. You can birth your own thing in the world, Sophia. Like, it was just a strong message that came through. And then everything worked out with him, and I carried on, and I ended up for 5 years doing these yoga teacher trainings, which were amazing and taught me a lot. So in this time around 2013, I had been traveling for 5 months on the road, came back to Costa Rica, and the first night in my bed, in my amazing comfortable bed, my neck went out just like that for no reason. I wake up and I couldn't move again. And again, it was like I spiraled into this wild, crazy place. Like, how is this possible? And yet, in that moment, in that time, I had a lot more wisdom and understanding. And it was like, I was like, okay, like, this is my teacher. My neck is my teacher. My pain is my teacher. And how can I turn this challenge into something beautiful? How can I really learn from this? And it took me so deep into a place and a journey of self-love. It was incredible. And I really was able to understand about the masculine principle and how important it is to balance this Shakti and Shiva. This Shakti is the dance. It is the life force. It's the movement. And the Shiva is the masculine force. It's the container. It's the holding. It's the canvas. And so it's been such an incredible part of my learning and teaching of what comes through in the Temple Body Arts is this understanding of the masculine and the feminine, and the stillness and the movement. And so through that, I was able to really, again, listen and shift the way I was doing things. And it was at that time that, again, I got a very clear message that was like, Sophia, you have to change something because this is not working. I was living here in this paradise, and yet there was nobody here. And I was working my booty off, like running around, performing, doing all this stuff, giving, come back here. And then I was like, wait, how do I get all those amazing people that I just met to come here and play with me? Or it was like, how do I create that bridge? And that's when I did my first live call, and I was so nervous, but I ended up hiring a mentor. I ended up finally like, okay, I need a mentor. I need to figure out how to get online. I need to figure out how to share my message. And through that, I started creating all these different pathways and like just forcing myself into the most uncomfortable places. Like my first call, I was so nervous. Oh my God, I was just running around so nervous, like, and it was amazing. But just anytime you step out of your comfort zone, anytime you try something new, it brings us to this edge. And yet that's where the growth happens. That's where the magic happens. And so I've had to go through so many thresholds to continue to expand, to be able to be here right now with all of you from around the world and share this story. And so yesterday, I woke up in so much pain once again. And it was like, I couldn't move. I'm like, oh, of course. Because I forget just how intense it is, because most of the time I'm able to feel so free in my body. And as many of you see from my videos and everything else, like I thrive and live on movement and breath and moving in this fluid way. But when my neck is like, I can't move. It was just such a beautiful reminder. I wasn't planning to speak so much about this part of my journey, but yesterday when it showed up, I was like, oh yes, hello. You were a massive initiation into all that I've created, because it was really in that time as well. I mean, it's been the last 12 years that I've really understood about the mind and the power of the mind and our thoughts and our beliefs. And so, you know, my background is in dance therapy and expressive healing arts and yoga, but it was like that mind piece and really understanding the power of that and understanding that we can shift from the inside and then shift our outside environment has just been so huge and incredible. So just breathing in and just recognizing for yourself any parts of that first part of the story that has brought anything to the surface for you. Mm. Mm. Oh, Stefania says, I've been incapacitated for 3 years. I understand so well. Yeah, it is so intense. And the fear that comes up when we can't move, literally. And yet, we can travel in stillness. We have the most amazing capacity to heal ourselves and to transform anything into love. And so that has been a huge part of my journey. And like I shared again and again, each time I would do these trainings, I mean, they were amazing. And I was bringing through all of my expressive healing arts and the dance with the yoga, and I was bringing it through, but it was kind of watered down because it was in the box of a 200-hour yoga teacher training. It was within that, and there was so much we had to do within that. But I kept doing it because it was comfortable, because, well, it seems like, you know, that's what people will say yes to. Like anyone will say yes to a yoga teacher training, but why would they say yes to something that's outside of that? And so this was going on. And then for the last 5-6 years, I've also been wanting to get pregnant. And many of you may know part of the story or may not. But it's been definitely a huge part of the journey, and was not able to get pregnant for like 5 years, and then finally did. And I'm seeing the little messages on the side. Mm. Yes. I finally did get pregnant about 1.5 years ago now. And it was like, as soon as it happened, I was like, oh my God, this is it. It was just like, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. It's finally happened. And had no thought whatsoever that it was not going to happen. It was like, it's happened. I'm pregnant. This is it. And, you know, going into the whole like, okay, like this is how we're going to change our life and everything's shifting and all of this. And then I went to get the ultrasound to find out that it had stopped growing at like 5.5 weeks, and that I would lose it. It would come out. They could have taken it out, but I chose to do it naturally. And that was a wild experience. That was like a mini birth experience of like birthing this empty sack out of me. But through that experience, like I experienced the most intense grief I've ever experienced. And I was so conscious that I had a choice in every moment that I was feeling so much in how to respond to it. And, you know, I would go down into the intensity, like, why me? This is a fucking cosmic joke. Like, what do you mean? Like, it was just insane, like the feelings and the emotions. And I'm sure many of you have experienced this. I mean, it is so common. And that's the thing, like 1 out of 4. And I had no idea. And yet in that process, I chose to focus on the fact that I could get pregnant. I chose to really focus on the fact that I was fertile and that I could create, and all that it brought me in feeling my body already shifting and changing. And it was incredible for, you know, to really just shift and to see how I could shift my own response to that experience. And it was incredible, and it fed so much of the rest of my life. And I started to share, and I wrote my story, and it's on my website under my blog if you haven't read it. And I received the most responses from that story that I have from anything that I've shared. And it was just like, oh, like, wow, like this is part of my dharma. This is part of my path. This is what I'm here to share. And it was really through that experience that it actually opened the doorway to me beginning to dialogue with my womb in a way I'd never had before. I mean, I thought I was already embodied and connected, but I started carving out time every single day to like listen to my womb. And just like I guided you in the beginning, you know, really dropping into the womb and listening, and just like bringing my awareness in there and listening to the wisdom of my womb. And it was so transforming. And it was also during that time that I was guided to start using my jade egg. And I'd had this for a while, but I just hadn't been inspired to use it. And all of a sudden, it was like the portal opened. It was like, now is the time. And I started working with it just very intuitively on my own. And it was incredible. I have to say, I've never felt so embodied. My body completely shifted and changed. I just came alive. I was like channeling this sexual creative energy, containing it all. I mean, it was amazing, like the transformation that happened and how I felt in my body from working with the egg and working with my body and working with my womb. And then I got pregnant again. And this time I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like keep this really safe because I don't know what's gonna happen. And in that time that I was pregnant, I got such a clear message. And it said, you have to stop every collaboration you're doing. You have to clear your schedule and you have to birth your school now. And it was so fierce. I was like, okay, I'm doing it. And I imagine myself like 6 months pregnant doing my first live training for Temple Body Arts. And I just started like putting my energy in there. And then I went to get my ultrasound. The same thing happened. Like, it's not growing. And it was just, it's called an ovum blithe, where the womb grows and the baby doesn't. Like, the body knows something's not totally perfect, and so it doesn't continue. And so again, I knew that it would come out. I chose to do it naturally, but I had to wait a month. And in this time, I was working on myself. I was working on the school. I was working on birthing International Temple Body Arts Day. I was doing a lot of things, and I was waiting for this sac to leave. And my body still thought I was pregnant. And finally, like a month later, I start to feel something, and I start to bleed, and I'm like ready. I'm like, I've got this. We can do this. It's me and my husband, and we've got plastic down. We're like ready. And I just keep bleeding, and I keep bleeding, and I keep bleeding for like 4 hours. And we actually called this midwife, and she was like, yeah, if you bleed for more than 4 hours, like, you need to go into the hospital. And that's when I actually passed out with my eyes wide open, and my husband was just like, what the fuck? And I had to go to the emergency room. And that was a whole story in itself of a free emergency room in Costa Rica, but they saved my life. And I ended up having to have a blood transfusion. There was only 2 pints of my blood. The next morning, was able to come home, and in that same time, my sister gave birth to my niece. It was absolutely mad. As I was miscarrying, my sister's waters broke. And so this juxtaposition of life and death, and of how we respond to all of it, and how connected we all are. I mean, it was one of the most wild experiences of like being so close to death myself, and then my sister giving birth. And luckily I was able to fly 5 days later and be with my niece. And it was the most healing experience ever to just like hold her and be with her. And was able to work with a Chinese doctor to support me. And Marie was there. I got to see Marie. She's here on the call right now, my dear sister. And it was so beautiful. And so from that experience, I mean, I was so vulnerable. And again, like in every moment, I had a choice in how I responded to it. And I just kept choosing love and just kept surrendering. And all of the practices that I've developed over the last 15 years, and if some of you have probably received, I have these 5 free Temple Body Arts practices that are through my website. And it's these mudra mantras that I've created throughout my journey that have supported me. So the first one was the yoni and the crown. It's like, I have the right to be here. The second is, I trust in the wisdom of my womb. The third is like the graceful warrior. It's like up on your toes, feeling the power and strength. And it's really about owning your power. And I stand in my strength. I speak my truth. The fourth is, I consciously manifest the life I desire. And the fifth is, I offer myself from this place of fullness. And so these practices have come through all of these initiations. And now from this last experience of being pregnant and then losing the baby, it was like all of that Shakti, that creative life force, has just like gone into birthing my school. And it's incredible. And again, it's like in every moment I have a choice, and I know that I'm here to be a voice, and I know that I'm here to share my gifts, and I know that I'm here to support you in really saying yes to yourself and stepping out of your comfort zone and really sharing yourself, your unique fingerprint of the goddess that you hold. And so it's just been such an amazing journey. And you know, it never ceases to amaze me of just like how connected the body and the mind and the spirit and how our external environment and the things that unfold are just like magically happen to show us things and to reflect what is happening. So the more that we wake up, the more that we see that everything we need is right here. It's right within us. We're being shown messages all the time. So as we begin to really learn to listen and discern and understand the sensations, understand the messages, understand who's showing up, why, and what's going on, we can begin to really navigate and pull out our sword and cut away what doesn't serve us, because that is huge. We have to be able to say no in order to truly say yes to ourselves. And that's something that I've really learned. It's like, yes, we can be all like, Olivia, yes. And you have to fucking pull out your sword. That deserves an F word. And, you know, be discerning with our language. So when are you going to swear? When are you going to use these different words? Like, words hold frequency. They hold power. Where are you leaking your power? Where are you giving away your power? It is such a subtle, intricate dance. And we're all here to reflect to one another. And that is the power of being in sisterhood. And thank the goddess that, you know, in 2013, I had my neck go out again where I couldn't move. And I was like, something has to change. I didn't have friends here. I didn't have a community. I didn't really reach out to people. It was like me and my husband, and I was just working all the time. And I still work a lot and I love it. And I have built an amazing tribe here, community here, and feel like there's all these amazing women and men that I'm connected to now. And it's about really reaching out and saying yes and opening up. And, you know, through that experience of really saying yes to myself and investing my time, investing my energy, my money in a mentor is what created that bridge from where I was to where I am now. There's no way I could have done it on my own. So we have to open ourselves up and connect outside. And I know from so many of the women that I'm connected to and that I talk to of feeling like so alone that they don't have friends or tribe around them that really understand even what they're going through. And I just want you to know, if that is you, that there are so many women like you. And it's so much fun and incredible for me to bring women together, to really journey together, and to, you know, trust that whoever's showing up for these journeys, whether it's live or online, I mean, it's incredible. This Zoom platform, we can share video chat, we can talk, we can share. It's like the next best thing to being in the flesh. And when you live in the jungle, that's what you got to do. And so now, you know, I've created this journey, this initiation for women to become Temple Body Arts guides. If you are feeling the call to really step into your leadership, or if you're just like beginning to wake up and you're feeling this, there's something missing. I need to like come into this body of mine. I need to understand what's going on. I need to connect. Like, we're all at different places, and that's perfect. And so I have this gorgeous online journey. That's the global mentorship. And that's what I'm going to be offering a free scholarship to in just a few moments. And it's been so gorgeous to see the different women from around the world like saying yes, and their story, and recognizing the power we have to rewrite our stories, you know, from past lineage. I mean, I feel like that's what's so incredible with the egg, is that we can literally infuse this egg with our intentions. We can bring it inside our bodies and literally like reprogram our wombs with our intentions and with our practices. And so I'm excited to be offering Rooting Your Temple Body. It's the first trimester of the full 9-month global mentorship. And it's over 9 months, but it's just 3 7-week journeys spread out over 9 months so that we stay connected through the whole 9 months. And there are live trainings as well. So there's one in January that still has space, and in June, just for 16 women to come to my retreat center here and go through an 11-day journey of these practices. We move through the different goddess archetypes. We spend 2 days with different goddess archetypes to really feel how they move through us, how we can use their energy to awaken different aspects of ourselves, and all while using the jade egg. We'll be dancing, we practice Tantra yoga and different ways of really learning how to shift the energy. And it's really about your own rite of passage initiation, but then also it's the opening to the path of really becoming a guide and offering these practices in whatever you're already doing, or to be able to become a temple body arts guide where you guide women's circles. It could begin with moon circles and just offering these meditations or these practices. And so the online journey of video modules, so it's there, you get access to it, lifetime access. And then we have weekly calls, Fridays, at this time actually that we started today, on Fridays for 7 weeks. And so we get to have a full, group mentoring, really. So it's like whatever has arisen over the week, you can send in questions, we can connect on the Facebook group. And then when we come together for this time, I can be answering questions, I can be going deeper into certain things that have arisen. And so we get to, again, really be reflections of one another and journey together through this portal. So it's with great joy to be offering this. And I want to check to see if there's anything that I missed that I wanted to share. So thank you, Chelsea. Chelsea just shared the link, and there's so much information there. There are videos, you can like dive in and really get a feel. So you can just sign up for 1 trimester, and there are payment plans as well, or you can sign up for the full 3 trimesters and save $400. You can also sign up for the whole journey to become a temple body arts guide. And I have a 6-month payment plan for that as well. So you do the 3 trimesters online, you do a live training, then there's a couple other requirements of like sending in a video and different things to become a certified temple body arts guide from the Temple Body Arts School of Sacred Sensuality and Dance. So, so much. And just want you all to close your eyes again and just notice what is present with you, what has arisen from this story. What is it that you came here to receive, to feel? Where in your life are you wanting to step more into your power and harness your gifts, embody your womb wisdom, reclaim your sexual sovereignty? And So I just did choose somebody randomly. I had a number in my head that's been coming to me all day, and I just counted through the participants. And so I'm going to offer trimester 1 as a gift to you, Stefania. So Stefania, we can't see you, but I'm just going to unmute you for a moment. Hello, Stefania. Are you there? We can't hear you, but we can see you're here. Can you put your video on? Oh, we can see you in the dark, but we can't hear you.
Okay, now I have the microphone.
Oh,
can you
yes.
Hear me? Hi.
I can hear you.
Thank you. It's amazing. Thank you very much.
Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from Rome, Italy.
Amazing.
Yes. Which number were you thinking? Which
21.
21.
21.
Oh.
You were 21.
I don't know why.
Amazing.
The date the birth date it's the 2nd of June, but June it's 6, so it's 26. I was thinking why this number. I don't know now.
Well, 21 came to me, and you literally were just the 21st person in my list here. So,
okay.
So magic brought it to you. It's meant to be. And so please just send me a message and I'll give you information for joining. We begin December 1st.
Thank you. So I will start with the new year. I really I felt I was in alignment with this energy a lot. The sensation during this webinar was that I was really in this energy. And I was really in your story about your neck and the pain you have passed through. I really was in your sensation. I know what you are passing through, and I know that you are in the same phase when you are starting to feel again better, but you still recognize that your pain is a message, and when you are not in alignment, it comes back and reminds you that you have to change something, understand something. So this is how I am using my pain. When I feel some pain, I ask myself why. So I'm so glad. I'm so honored. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. So glad you could come. Yay. We'll be in touch. We'll be seeing you soon. Thank you.
Yes.
Goodness. Sorry, what was that?
I have goosebumps. I am excited.
Yeah, that's always a good sign.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Stefania.
Kisses.
Amazing. Besos. Gorgeous. Well, I do have a gift for all of you, actually. So I would love to offer you all $100 off with the coupon Live Your Yes. So it's capital Live Your Yes. Maybe you can write that, Chelsea. It's just Live Your Yes all in capitals together. So if you use that coupon when you're claiming your seat, it will give you $100 off. And then I'm also going to extend the early bird bonuses that already finished, but I would love to extend them all to you. And you get access to an inner diamond mantra activation that I created from the healing of my neck. It's this 45-minute video. It's like a guided meditation and guided mantra creation to support you. And then also I'm going to offer a 30-minute one-on-one session with me during trimester 1. So on top of that, you also get access to like 25 interviews called Conversations with the Goddess. If some of you probably watched some of them, if you were part of the International Temple Body Arts Day that I did, I interviewed incredible visionary embodied leaders from around the world, and they're really amazing conversations. So you get access to all of those as well. And so I'm offering that to you today. So if you sign up by tomorrow, we'll say tomorrow midnight Pacific time, then I will offer all of those goodies to you as well. And if you have questions about all of this and the journey and what is it to become a Temple Body Arts guide and what does that mean, I would love to connect with you. So you can actually go on my website. Actually, Chelsea, do you have the link, I believe, to the live training? And if you go to that page, you can actually book a time to talk to me. Or it's actually even under my contact on my website as well. You can just go and schedule a time to connect with me one-on-one. We can have a little call and really see if this is in alignment for you. So I'd love to just find a way to support you if you're feeling the yes. So please reach out. And for those of you who aren't on your video, if you want to put it on so we can see you and just connect in with one another and know that we're not alone. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself, saying yes, and I just invite you to even spend some time just writing today or over the weekend, just really reflecting on all of the initiations that you've been through. And what is your belief around them now? What are you carrying around certain things that have gone through in your life? And is there a place for you that you can turn any of that into more love, or into really listening and learning from really the medicine and the lessons that each of those initiations have given you? So thank you. And I hope to journey with some of you through the global mentorship, and if not, then just staying connected and until it's your time or not. And it's just so gorgeous to see so many of your faces and new faces. Thank you so much for connecting and coming on today, and hope to feel you and see you again. So much love. Ciao. Do something yummy for yourself today to fill yourself up. Ciao.